Why is it so hard to be kind to yourself? People making fun of you openly, especially in public. When you have an audience, it just amps everything up. I know. It's hard because of your belief system. At the core, that's what it comes down to. It's one thing to tell yourself that you're okay and you're beautiful or you're handsome or you're attractive or you're smart or you're funny or you're worthy or you're good enough. It's one thing to tell yourself that, and it's another thing to believe it. It's another thing to feel it. And when you lie to yourself, you might actually end up feeling worse, not better. If someone has made fun of you, or if someone has been mean to you, or if someone has challenged you, and it's caused you to be hard on yourself, to buy into it, to feel hurt, it's because a belief was challenged. It could be they challenged a belief that you had about yourself. It could be that they touched on a belief that you're ugly. It could be that they touched on a belief that you're not good enough or that nobody will ever love you. It could be a belief that you are not likable. It hurts because they touched on a belief that you have about yourself. And then that makes it really hard to be kind to yourself after the fact. That's why it can take so long to recover. It could be that the belief that was challenged was more along the lines of, I thought this person was one thing, and now I found out this person is something else. Or I think this person is something else. And so that can cause it to hurt too. Because again, your beliefs are being challenged. You're being asked to look at what your beliefs are about the situation. And that's where a little bit of challenging yourself, how do I really know that's true? Is it really true? Or am I just making an assumption based on my past and my belief systems? It could even be a belief system that you have about how the world is supposed to be or what's appropriate in that particular situation. Oftentimes, we expect the world to show up in the way that we like to show up or in the way that we think things should be done, but not everybody agrees with us. And that's not how the world works. People show up in all kinds of ways. They have differences of opinion on what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. We're all at different points along our personal growth journey. And so what's appropriate to one person will not be appropriate to another. So a belief can be challenged about what you think is okay in the world. What do you think is appropriate behavior for a person? That's another belief that can be challenged. Those are the things that bring up those uncomfortable feelings, the disappointment, the sadness, the hurt feelings, the am I okay? The oh my God, they think something's wrong with me. Is something wrong with me? The I knew something was wrong with me and now they've just validated that. It becomes a problem because of your beliefs. So a really good way to test yourself to see where you're at with your self-esteem, your self-acceptance, your self-love, your self-respect is to look at how long does it take for you to recover after you have been challenged, after a wound has been touched. How long does it take you to recover? Is it moments? Is it hours? Is it days? Is it weeks? Is it months? Or are you still struggling with stuff from years ago? Does that still come up? The less time you need to recover, the healthier your self-esteem, the healthier your self-confidence. The bottom line is, if the belief isn't there, then there's no pain. It's easy to brush it off. It's easy to laugh it off. So if you're going out, let's say you are having a drink with a girlfriend and somebody comes over to you and tells you how ugly you are Or maybe they don't even start that way. Maybe that's something they lay on you after they have tried to get to know you and then you rejected them, or just weren't interested, or didn't show the appropriate level of interest. And they lash out and they're like, well, you're ugly, or whatever it is. If you don't really believe that, it's very easy to just laugh in their face. Maybe it shocked you though and caught you off guard. How quickly do you recover? Are you able to laugh it off with your friends or laugh it off by yourself in a matter of minutes? Or is it still bothering you a month later, a year later, 3 years later? That's an indicator of where your self-esteem and your self-confidence and your self-acceptance, your self-love, all of those wonderful self-concepts, how you think and feel about yourself. The time that it takes you to recover is a clear indicator of where you are on that spectrum. When your beliefs change, your self-esteem, your self-acceptance changes too. Most people think that it has to take a really long time, years, it's a lifelong journey because maybe you had trauma, maybe you were abused, maybe you were scarred in your childhood, but that's not the case. It is possible to make progress very quickly. You can start to see changes in a matter of days, weeks, significant changes in a matter of months, and it all comes down to the belief system. So if you work with someone who knows how to get into the belief system, that inner working, and help you change it, course correct, go a different direction, they know how to do it effectively. You can see progress quickly because your self esteem, being kind to yourself, being accepting of yourself, it all boils down to the beliefs that you have about yourself, other people, and the world. That's all it is. It's hard to feel hurt. Self-esteem took a hit. Your self-esteem took a hit. It doesn't feel good. I know. It's just like, oh, they got me right in the heart. They got me right in the heart.